hopefully take 2 here works a little better. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Who's back here? Hey, Sue M, Mama Bear, Persnickety Prudence. God, I love saying that. Tiny Dancer, what's up? Robin Becker, Kimberly Ronnie Mom. I can't really see. Okay, let's see. Tifa. I got pants on and shirt off, so my body is ready. What? Okay, then, Tiny. Good to know. Oh, God. Hey, Erin O'Calley, Debbie Smith, McConnell. How are you? Hey, Karen Collins. You love Canada? Yay, Canada. Hey, GTA Opinions. Welcome back. She's halfway naked and afraid. Ready for the party. Well, you can't be that ready if you have your pants on. I'm just saying. Hey, Christy. So, okay, the good news is about I was, forced to take this break here, and I kind of looked into a few more things, right, kind of centering around what I wanted to show tonight. And I came across something I think was interesting. I haven't finished listening to the video yet, but I think it might be interesting. Let me see. Let me pull up the video here, just because it's a video. Part of it is a video that I have on my computer, but I can't. If I play it just through my file, from my files or whatever, through my media player, then I can't play it at a faster speed. So I just now finished uploading it to a drive folder. So I think from there I can play it at a higher speed. If I can just find out where the hell it went. Oh, there it is. Okay. Let me just see if this will let me do it. And it's, oh my God. It's not done processing yet. God damn it. Well, we'll check again in a second. If not, I can always just play it through my media drive, whatever. Shit happens. Okay, so one of the things, though, I wanted to go over were some older files, like some older, I guess, blog posts or whatever that Katie had written. Not necessarily the ones that she wrote while with Pathos, but more or less the ones that she wrote while she was on her own website, withoutacrystalball.com. Some of those kind of made their way over to Pathos, but not all of them. All of them did. So when I was looking through a lot of them, and one of them jumped out at me, though, and caught my eye. And this one was from Pathos, though. So of course, none of her articles are accessible through their links anymore because they're not, Pathos isn't hosting any of her content anymore. So I had to just put it through the Wayback Machine. And luckily there was a save from it. So, I redid my hair tonight, rebleached in purple also. Awesome. I want to see your hair. Who else is here? Hey, Poodlerific, Teresa Howick, Mama Bear. I think I said hi to you earlier, but just in case. Actually, okay. Let me do this. First of all, let me do this real quick, and then I'm going to just go right into reading this blog post of hers. But go away. So first, I want to share Dottie Morgan's video that she did featuring the Entitlement Translator. And I don't know if it's maybe me too. I don't know. But it's hilarious. It's one of her meme videos. She does these meme videos. She does them about Katie. She does them about Unirock. And now she's done one about me and the Entitlement Translator. And you have to check it out. It's freaking awesome. I love it. I absolutely love it. So here's the link to that. Also, let me put these in there. Let's see. Check out Sue M's channel. She has some awesome kangaroo videos. And then check out Just Brit and Company. She has some very enlightening videos. And check out Claire S. Bear's channel. She has some really hilarious videos. One of them I got to participate in. She did Am I the Asshole reading. So those are really fun. So, okay. Daddy's back. Daddy's back. Yay, Daddy's back. Okay, so let me share this screen. Which one is it? It's under that one. Okay. Okay, yep, that's the right one. Okay, so this is an article by Katie written February 19, 2019, where, and it was for Pathos, because right here I see that it was for Pathos, but it's titled, "The Day I Threw an Abusive Nurse Out of My Home." And she says, after a year of working in my home and watching my son, a home care nurse melted down and terrified both my son and me. My son shook petrified and pleaded with her to stop yelling. Unable to remove her from my home, I had to call the agency to tell her to leave. Home care nurses are overworked, underpaid, undertrained, and families like mine are suffering. We have used home care nursing services for my son on and off his entire life. Choosing to welcome staff into my home was not something I came about lightly. For more than 2 years, I attempted to care for my son on my own. That right there, she's full of shit his entire life when she didn't bring about nurses until years later. Okay. Somehow I found a way to juggle his more than a dozen doctors, numerous medications, a feeding tube, and his heart disease. However, without help, I began drowning. I couldn't keep up with his needs. Everything in my life revolved around him. My life became so entangled and enmeshed with his pain and suffering that my mental health and happiness disappeared. Desperate for help, I reached out to our county social worker. Together, she assisted my family in obtaining services and finding nurses for our home. All right, quick question to anyone out there who might know. She says, I reached out to our county social worker. She assisted in finding services. Now, she also says that the home nursing that is in her home is paid through private insurance. Now, wouldn't the private insurance help find the agency? Because they would only cover certain agencies, I would imagine. And wouldn't the agency then help her find the nurse or whatever? I'm wondering how social worker and how the county and the services and whatever came into play. But I'm not at all well-versed or even unwell-versed at all when it comes to this. So I could be completely wrong, just saying. But if anyone has any answers or whatever, I would love to hear the answers. So, okay, back to this. Obtaining services and finding nurses. Okay. After a few months of bringing the nurses into our home, our family found a rhythm and harmony that we hadn't had in years. My husband and I could go out on dates. During the day, I was able to write and manage my social media. Lunch and coffee dates with friends became normal. For the first time in years, I felt a weight lifted off my shoulders. My son had people that cared for him and managed his illnesses. After 5 years of living in our home, I was able to unpack our last boxes and organize. Our life had been on hold for such a long time that relatively easy tasks were left undone. Then the honeymoon period wore off. Soon I had to manage personality conflicts between my son and the nurses. Most of my day was spent playing referee between the nurse and my child. Once a compliant and happy child, my son became defiant and resistant anytime his nurses needed to give him medications, vent his G-tube, or feed him. Instead of a peaceful home, my home became filled with rage from my son. My son is autistic and struggles with adapting to change. Nurses that came into our house were not trained to care for a child on the spectrum. The lack of training and inability to communicate effectively with my son created meltdowns that exploded like a raging volcano. His face would become beet red. Veins popped out along his temple and neck, and he started getting violent. These were not typical temper tantrums of a 6-year-old child. I would argue that, yes, they are. I mean, someone who's seen typical temper tantrums from children of various ages. That is kind of what they look like. No, once my son entered this sphere, he became violent and incapable of rational dialogue. He kicked, punched, and threw his toys around the house. Running from room to room, he slammed doors and beat on his walls. He screamed, stomped his feet, and clenched his fists when he tried to communicate his needs. At first, the dramatic, violent episodes were sporadic. We dealt with a meltdown only a few times a week. However, by a year into our nursing services, he was melting down every day. We worked with doctors to find ways to manage his emotions, and he started on medication to help his ADHD. Even with the drugs and behavioral work we applied, his anger was still out of control. By the end of each week, I found myself completely drained. All week, I would listen to my son yell and scream at his nurses. I found myself unable to work without interruption, and I became resentful of the nurses. On more than a few occasions, I took my anger and frustration out on my husband, lashing out about the way the nurses communicated with my son. I found myself moving through emotions that ranged from blubbery tears to what felt like steam boiling out of my ears. That rhymes. I wonder if she meant that. Let me check the chat real quick. What? Just your suggestion. What does Aaron have to do now? Yeah, she did say that, Carly Hannah. That's why I thought that lunch date comment was, kind of weird too. I was a social work major. She's not telling the truth. Oh, yeah. Though I'd like to hear more about that. Okay. All right, let me go back. I'm afraid I'm going to miss shit in the chat or whatever. I'm going to ignore people, so I like to check back. Okay. Weekends in our home were always peaceful. My son had a nurse he adored and who didn't fight with him. We were able to spend time as a family. Sundays were always the most pleasant. On the single day of the week that no one came into our... Weekends in our home were always peaceful. My son had a nurse he adored who he didn't fight with. So on the weekends, he had a nurse that he adored? Were you able to spend time as a family? Okay. Or maybe is she trying to say that the nurse is her? I don't know. Sundays were always the most pleasant. On the single day of the week that no one came into our home, our son didn't raise his voice. We didn't fight with him about anything, and there were no scary, violent outbursts. After a few weekends of calm, I started to realize that the nurse my son lovingly referred to as his honey was the source of his outbursts. Anyone else kind of wonder if maybe this nurse became, quote unquote, the source of the outbursts after maybe she heard her son refer to this nurse as his honey? I don't know. That could be a petty thought of mine, but whatever. He only behaved that way when she was in our home. The only other time he acted like that was with another nurse we had to terminate. She doesn't say why they had to terminate, though. Quickly, I realized that his behavior escalated to violence because anytime he acted out, she gave him whatever he wanted. If he wanted her to play, but she was busy, he threw a fit. When she needed to provide him with medications, he exploded violently to prevent her from giving the meds. Everything she needed to do work as a nurse, he pushed back on. Instead of holding her ground with him, she gave in to his demands. For a year, she spoiled him with attention to a fault. He learned that anytime he exploded, that his honey would give him whatever he wanted. When I made the connection, I tried to change their relationship. I provided the nurse with techniques to manage and work through my son's outbursts. We discussed not bending to his demands. Firmly, I told her that she needed to establish boundaries with him so he would respect her. Initially, I tried to model the proper way to diffuse the situation. I remained calm, ignored the behavior, and firmly stuck to whatever request I made of my son. Through the work, my son stopped fighting me. Unfortunately, her attempts to extinguish the behavior only further fanned the flames of my son's rage. The imagery she's portraying here with these I don't know, these very the words, they're very what's the word I'm looking for? I don't even know. They're dire, they're shocking words. I don't know. She struggled to remain calm. Within days, I started to hear her yelling at my son. Soon her behavior escalated from being easygoing to arguing with my son about everything. Her fights with my son started about the most mundane issues. One day she didn't want to be a room he wanted to play in. The two of them fought for hours as she screamed and told him she can't be forced to sit in a small room all day. Okay. She said my son held her hostage and unable to work. Through her frustration, she raised her voice at my son and me. When I diffused situations and tried to calm my son, she accused me of not taking her feelings into consideration. Then came her complaints about nearly every aspect of her day. She didn't want to be in his room or the guest room. Her polite demeanor became demanding and abrasive. Her own needs started to supersede my son's care. For weeks, she threatened to quit if we didn't control our dog or make her environment safe. Wow, what a bitch. I mean, come on. We worked tirelessly to manage our dog's behavior, but her dark and aggressive demeanor made our dog nervous. Oh my God, really? Is she really blaming the nurse for the dog's behavior? Our sweet foxhound puppy barked at her aggressively anytime she approached our son. After a month of questionable exchanges and a dramatic change in how she treated my son and me, I knew she was burnt out. What I didn't realize was that she was so burnt out that it would turn into a dramatic explosion that left my son crying and me begging an agency to remove her from my home. Her language towards me was abusive and disrespectful. She spoke so loudly, my son placed his hands over his ears and begged her to stop. I told her to leave. She refused to leave my home. Eventually, I had to call the agency to remove her from my house. My son was left sobbing uncontrollably, unable to understand her anger. He begged me not to be mean to his nurse. However, he didn't realize Mommy wasn't mean. She was trying to protect her son. Now, my son lost his best friend, and I can't explain to him how this happened. My son will never understand that a nurse I brought into our home to care for him verbally abused me and my son on a daily basis. I complicitly allowed it because we had no one else to watch him. Really? Because I thought that she allowed it because she didn't realize it. Home care nursing is not easy. These nurses work long hours for very little pay. They need to blend in with families, manage family dynamics, and care for a child or a person. None of that is easy. I have tremendous sympathy for the sacrifices these men and women make to help their clients. The massive staffing shortage for home care nurses in our country is leaving nurses working 50 to 80 hours a week to cover the needs of the agency. Because many of the nurses are working too many hours, families are left with a staff that is fatigued, quick-tempered, and unable to cope with stress. Agencies are spending their time trying to keep nurses from quitting, recruiting new nurses, and putting out fires in homes. Without time to properly train staff and manage the needs of the families, many agencies are unable to retain nurses. As a result, families are left without help. Let me go back and check the chat real quick here. Oh my God, tiny dancer. Okay. Yeah, exactly, you drunk uncle. I don't believe. Yeah, there's so many things here. So many. I mean, I didn't even read this whole thing before I decided to cover this. I just only read a part of it because then it reminded me of this video that I played on here not too long ago, and I wanted to compare the two. I didn't even get through the whole article. Yeah. Yeah, she has to make sure everyone knows that he is her son. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Lori Lynn. Sensationalistic, the words that she uses. Exactly. Thank you. Hey, Cindy D. Oh, and hi, yo, drunk uncle. Okay, hi, Aunt Lissy. Shelly Belly. Okay, I'm going to go back and finish reading. I don't know. I didn't realize how long this one went on for. If I could go back in time, I would have probably terminated the nurse months prior. However, there are no nurses to fill her shifts. Therefore, firing her from home means we have no help. I kept her on much longer than I should have because she was the only option I had. Nurses burn out. Families become stuck with the staff they either don't like or don't fit their needs because of the shortage. The shortage in nursing is driven by the fact that baby boomers are aging and need more support in their homes. However, there aren't enough staff to cover the number of clients. Additionally, the wages that nurses make in homes are considerably less. I would say that would be the main reason for the shortage, is the pay and whatnot, but whatever. According to payscale.com, the average salary nationwide for a home care registered nurse is $26 an hour. In a hospital, an RN can make anywhere from $29 to $35 an hour on average. When you can make nearly $10 more an hour without having to deal with the stress of working in a home, most nurses pick hospitals and clinics. I don't know. Really? I would think, I think it would all depend on the nurse, but I would imagine some nurses would prefer the home health care with the stresses and the less stresses there, as opposed, because there's pros and cons to each, I would imagine. But it just, even with minus the pay raise, let's say that you made the same amount of money at both, I would think there would be a good amount of nurses who preferred the home care and a good amount of nurses who preferred the clinic, more clinical setting. I don't know. I could be wrong, though. When you can make nearly $10 more an hour without having to deal with the stress of working in a home, most nurses pick hospitals and clinics. Medicaid and Medicare control the pay rates that home care nurses can make. In some states, Medicaid pays only $9 an hour for nursing. What nurse do you know that will work for $9 an hour? What? It just... Okay. So, but wait, is she saying that the RNs through Medicare, or RNs working through Medicaid, are only paid $9 an hour? But if they work, through like a private agency or private care, then they can make $26 an hour? Or is she saying that all nurses at home care make $26 an hour, but Medicaid on top of that pays $9 an hour? I don't understand what she's saying there. I don't. What nurse do you know that will work for $9 an hour? So you're saying that they don't make $26 an hour, they make $9 an hour. No, they can't. There's no way that happens. There's no freaking way. Not for an hour, not for the same qualified nurse. Okay. And the ones in her home, are they employed and paid or whatever, obtained through Medicaid then? Because if not, then it's done through private insurance. And when they get paid the $26 rate, not the $9? None of her shit makes sense, man. I don't understand it. It's hard to follow what it is she's trying to say. Okay. I'm sorry. Let me go back. What nurse do you know will work for $9 an hour? Yesterday, my son and I dealt with the ramifications of the nursing shortage. We had a nurse blow up and scream. She scared us both and left my son shaking and heartbroken. Do I think she's a terrible nurse or person? No, I believe she is burnt out and unable to cope. Our country needs serious changes to our healthcare system. We need better reimbursement rates for home care nurses. Until that happens, families like mine are left picking up the pieces after a previously amazing nurse burns out. My son and children like him deserve nurses that are well paid, well rested, and well trained. We don't have that now. I'm not sure we ever will. So yeah, there's that. Let me check my Google Drive. Hold here. See if this will play yet. Okay, yes, it will. Yay. And can I do it at a faster setting? Yes, I can. Yes. Okay. So all right, so we all heard that there, right? Here, let me go back over this a little bit. We see it for more than 2 years. Okay, so where the hell is it? Okay. No. Quickly, I realized that his behavior escalated to violence because anytime he acted out, she gave him whatever he wanted. If he wanted her to play, but she was busy, he threw a fit. When she needed to provide him medications, he, exploded, blah, blah, blah. Everything she needed to do work as a nurse, he pushed back on. So he was making her unable to do her nursing duties. For a year, she spoiled him with attention to a fault. When I made the connection, I tried to change the relationship. Provided the nurse with techniques, and okay. Initially, I tried to model the proper way. I remained calm, and unfortunately, her attempts to extinguish the behavior only further fanned the flames of my son's rage. She struggled to stay calm. I love how right up until then, it wasn't her. She had no problem staying calm. It was her son, but now she's struggling to stay calm. Okay. Within days, I started to hear her yelling at my son. Soon, her behavior escalated from being easygoing to arguing with my son about everything. Her fights with my son was mundane. She didn't want to be in a room, or whatever. The two of them fought for hours as she screamed and told him she can't be forced to sit in a small room all day. She said my son held her hostage. And okay, I just want to go over the points in which she's listing that this nurse had to be let go. She most likely gets her nursing services through Medicaid. That's why she goes through the court. You know, and that's I agree, Mama Bear. I mean, I think even with private insurance, oh yes, I will, Sue. I'm sorry. I think even with private insurance, she would still be given at least, you know, some of the Medicaid services that are offered to parents with like special needs children or medically fragile children, you know, like in this case. I don't think that that's income based. I think that that's everyone's eligible for it. At least I know that's how it is in New York. And I'm pretty sure that that's how it is in her state too, because they have what's called Minnesota Care, which is a lot like what New York State has. So I'm pretty sure it's the same deal there. However, as you're going to see in this video I'm about to play, she claims that the nursing is obtained and paid for private insurance. So in this video, because I don't know if, I know I did. I think I said when she wrote this, February 19th, 2019. Okay. This video is from February 19th, 2019. So, but it's just, it still seems different. I don't know. I haven't listened to the whole video yet. So, but I'm going to go ahead and play it. Let me share the screen for her because it's now uploaded. It's now done processing. So I can play it. My drive. There we go. Okay.
Hello. Good evening, everyone. I'm actually going to try live tonight because it's 7:30, so I figured this might be a good time for maybe more people that are online.
I'm going to skip ahead a little bit because she doesn't get into it right away, I don't think, from what I remember. It's been a little while since I watched this, but I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead a little bit. If I have to go back or whatever, I can. Yeah, Tanya, let me just play a little bit of this video, though, okay? And then, yes, absolutely. If you can help add to this shit, because I got questions. I know I got a lot of questions.
I've done a couple of lives so far, mostly just sort of talking about anti-vaccine and stuff, behavior slide, because I just liked that my son had a friend.
Okay.
You know, when you have staff in your home, you don't ever really get to, like, you had to be in the basement, and she didn't like that answer. She accused me of treating her like an animal, and my son yesterday. And I just felt like these are the kinds of things that no one talks about, and it's really hard to admit that as a parent, you do your best to protect your child, but sometimes you bring people into your home that might hurt them, and it's indirectly, verbally, physically, and you are engulfed in what's going on around you that sometimes you can't see what's going on. And we've had at least 2 really abusive nurses in our home in the last year. Yesterday, I had to have a nurse leave. I thought I was going to have to call the cops because she would not leave my home. She was screaming at me. She was making my son cry, making my son shake. She basically just like lost her mind on us because I told her that she had to be in the basement and she didn't like that answer. She accused me of treating her like an animal, which I don't. I'm an extremely, like, I'm an introvert as much as, like, I might not seem that way. I'm a very quiet person. And I spend most of my time like writing because that's writing and reading because that's just like my happy place. And it's hard to have staff in your home when you're an introvert. And sometimes I would be short with her or just with staff in general, because when you have people in your house 12 hours a day, you know, it's like you don't really get to be yourself. You have to always be thinking about someone else. And sometimes we have days where we're not feeling good, or, you know, our kids are acting like jerks or whatever. And, you know, when you have staff in your home, you don't ever really get to like let down and be vulnerable because, you know, you always have to be on and be considerate to the people that are around you. So home care can be very messy. You know, you can have fights with your nurses. You can have words with your nurses. That doesn't mean that like you necessarily hate them. It's just, you know, it's kind of like when you're in a relationship with a spouse, you know, sometimes when you're around someone all the time, you snap. So the nurse that we actually just let go, she had been with us for a year. and my son was really attached to her. And unfortunately, she was extremely abusive to me and to my son verbally. And I was very patient and put up with a lot of her stuff because my son loved her, and my son doesn't have any friends, like none. And he thought she like called her his best friend. And because of that, I felt very guilty that I didn't like her, or that I think I let some of her bad behavior slide because I just liked that my son had a friend. But they fought all the time, and she yelled at him all the time. And well, not like all day, every day, but they fought every day, and she argued with him every day, and she yelled at him almost every day she was here. Like really stupid things. Like I think one of the biggest issues in home care is that boundaries get crossed a lot. So when you have staff in your home, you're supposed to have boundaries. Like you're supposed to be the family, and then they're supposed to be the staff, and they're not there to be family, and they're not there to be a part of the family, but then they're engaged in family events. So it gets very messy because they're there for birthdays, and they're there for holidays, and they're there for school and for appointments. And so, you know, as much as they're not your family, they sort of become your family indirectly. And then the more time they spend with you, a lot of times these nurses, they get very attached, and rightfully so. And as your child gets attached, and as they become attached to your child, it can get really difficult for relationships can get very manipulated. And I would say I was manipulated by this nurse for almost the entire time she was in my home. There's such a significant nursing shortage right now that families don't have the ability to interview a nurse and like find someone that's a good fit. You are basically just given whoever the agency has. And it's either you have a nurse or you have open shifts. And for people that work like me, if you don't have a nurse, that means you're not going to be able to work. And you know, like I haven't had time in the last few days to actually write like original stories. So a lot of my articles have been like very quick and easy, like legal cases or cases that I like can do commentary on. But like I'm not doing the kind of writing right now that I want to be because I don't have nurses and I don't have the time. So if you've been annoyed by the fact that I haven't given you any dirty good writing, that's why. But I lost my train of thought. So nurses, the longer that you're in their home, they become like family in a way, but they're not your family. And so relationships get very muddied. And so like, because we didn't interview our nurses at all, we were basically like, here's someone that has open time. You can meet them and decide, and you basically get like 30 minutes to meet them. And then it's a decision of whether or not like you're going to, unless you're going to like take them, you know. And it's like, you don't really know within 30 minutes if someone's going to be good for your child. You just have to kind of go with your gut. And that's hard because first impressions are not always accurate. And I'll be honest, the first time I met this nurse, I did not like her. But you know, I wanted to give her a chance. I always feel like people sort of deserve a chance. That's probably one of my biggest faults is I have a tendency to give too many chances. But you know, she came into the home and she was really good with my son. And at the time we had another nurse that was having some really big problems with boundaries and was disciplining our son and was commenting about my parenting and telling me, you know, I shouldn't be doing this or I shouldn't be doing that. And, you know, that's again, a boundary issue. Like when you're a staff in a home, it's really not your choice to decide how someone parents. The parent is the parent, the staff is the staff. I haven't always been the best about setting appropriate boundaries just because it's really hard when you have people in your house to have appropriate boundaries. And sometimes I've been maybe too open or too kind and too willing to accept people beyond sort of that nurse patient relationship. I just think that I always had the impression that it would be more difficult for my son if we didn't embrace them fully instead of just keeping it more clinical. And for a while that was fine, but then the more the nurses got comfortable, the more advantage they started taking of me. And my son became so invested with the nurses that I put up with really bad behavior because I didn't want my son to lose the nurses. So we had one nurse that
I can't help but notice she keeps saying nurses. Like she's had all these problems with all these nurses and everything. But yet the article, which was, I mean, again, here, February 19, 2019, although to be honest, that's when it was uploaded to Patheos. This could have been one of those articles that kind of transferred over from her website withoutacrystalball.com. So it could have been written before then. But either way, that's when she uploaded it to Patheos. So, but here it is, the day I threw an abusive nurse out of my home. But here it's nurses. It just, I don't know.
Just decided she wanted to discipline him, and I never gave her approval to discipline him. And she decided that she was going to start taking away his iPad, and she decided that he needed to do things besides look on his iPad. And she would fight with me about his iPad. She told me that he needs to do more than have his iPad. I've had nurses tell me that what I feed my child isn't right. see nurses when they come into your home, they're not doctors, they're following doctors' orders, and they're not there to give any direction. And so
Okay. Laura Lynn asks Aaron question off topic. But didn't I hear Toad say in an interview for his cult band, say that when he had his youngest son, he had his youngest son had medical issues. Does he have another kid prior to KJ? I don't know. This is the first I'm hearing of it. Do you remember what interview it was? Because there's a couple of them, a couple that I know of, anyways, that are on YouTube. If you remember which one it was or whatever, we can go and check it out. I have no idea though. She's probably on this. Oh yeah. I remember her saying her son's doctor said her son needed 40 hours of nurses a week. How was that for real? I don't think her son necessarily needs it. I think he definitely needs, like a lot of extra care and a lot of extra attention. Whether or not they has to be given from a registered nurse, I don't know. I think maybe this is more or less something that he can definitely benefit from having a professional like a registered nurse, help care for him. And a mix between that and it being offered, not just for the kid's sake, but for the parents' sake. In which case, and don't get me wrong, I support this 100% because I can't imagine what the stress and the pressure and the time and just everything. It must be so consuming for anyone, for a parent, to have to be the one in charge and in control and the one responsible for all of this and everything. And there has to be a lot for a parent on top of everything else that comes with the child's life and needs and everything. That's a lot. So I completely support having, there be medical help or whatever come in for the parent's sake and for the child's sake. I fully support that. I just want to say that. Can you mod me only for tonight so I can defend myself against when we're beefing and she has the upper hand? I can see what I can do, but I don't know. It's Sue, Sue's one of my peeps. I can see 40 hours PCA, CNA, but not LPN, RN based on what I get for home care. I wondered that myself, Nikki. I wondered if maybe the nurses or whatever that were coming into her home were more LPN, or just like just home health aides. But someone had shared with me that that they're actually RNs, and I forget how it is that they shared this with me, but it was undeniable that it was RNs coming in. Ignore Mrs. Cassandra. Same chat. So I don't know. Okay. I'm going to go back to the video. Oh, and is Tiny still in here? Tiny? Yeah, I sent you, check your DMs.
Oh, they might have clinical experience, but it's their job to follow the doctor's order, if that makes sense. So they're not in your home to like give you suggestions. They're in your home because the doctor ordered that they be in your home. And then the doctor prescribes different orders for the nurses to do. And then those nurses are supposed to follow those orders. And usually the orders are like, give medicine, check vital signs, help with skills.
I'm going to forward this because I just want to get to the part about this nurse. I don't care about the rest of this.
Behavioral. Exactly, Nicole, our hands are tied. Because he's autistic and he has a low IQ and he believes that when mommy's yelling, it's because mommy's being mean, and sometimes when I'm yelling at him, I'm trying to get him to do stuff. And so he was like thinking I was being mean to her when she was really like yelling at me. And I was just trying to get a word in edgewise and she wouldn't allow me to talk. So we have just had a really tough time like dealing with the nurses. And I think it's something that a lot of families that are in sort of the autism and medically fragile world go through. And I think that nurses that work in the field, aren't all bad, but I think that the current environment in the home care world is so toxic because their pay rates are like, so it's like it's like what a nurse in a hospital makes versus what a nurse.
Okay, so Tiny just joined us, but I'm going to go back to playing this for now. So just so you know, Tiny. So
it's fine.
bring you on and we could talk in just a minute.
For sure.
In the home make is like night and day. Like, for instance, I have a friend because they can't pay a nurse home care, and they have his processing is like, or he does like 67% of all children with disabilities are like probably actually report the agency to the state board, because what happened was so egregious and so terrifying that like if they put another family through that, I would feel terrible. And I told the director that if she retaliates or if any of the staff retaliates, I will not hesitate to file like police reports against them. Like, I am not playing. You are not retaliate against me. Like, I plan to contact our social worker because my son does have a county caseworker. So if they do file a bogus CPS report against me, my caseworker will at least know that it's coming because of retaliation.
What the fuck?
That's the only benefit.
They still can't tell you that.
Had in the past 6 years that have had bogus CPS complaints.
What's that?
They can't tell her that. They would never tell her that.
I know. Believe me, I know. Wait a minute. I've seen some shit here in the chat. I want to.
I was telling everyone that I bleached my hair and redid it purple. So, hello.
I love it. It looks awesome.
Thank you.
Miss Cassandra, I had to try Sue M. Jack is well cared for. I'm curious who Jack is, but
every time people say Jack, I think of Dottie's bird. So, where's Jack?
Home health RNs are very scarce in Minnesota in general, and especially since the beer virus. So I would assume 95% of it would be CNA. Yeah, or even LPN. I mean, that's
I'm not even in the United States, but I do know that they have support workers like what I do out there. So I work with individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. So it can be physically brought on or it can be brought on genetically, right? So anything can happen at any point. There's definitely always help out there. You can tell just based off of these videos, at least in my opinion, allegedly, she's definitely playing victim. Like,
absolutely.
She wants to get some sort of rise or emotion or something out of someone. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to thank Mima Dragon for becoming a member, and Dylan's mom. Thank you for becoming a member.
And thank you for everyone saying you love my hair. I do too.
Okay, Jack is Dottie's parrot. Okay, I see. Okay.
Yeah, Jack is Dottie's. That's what I said. Jack is Dottie's parrot. I love Jack.
I'm still kind of way behind in that part of the conversation.
Feel like he's gonna squawk in and give his opinion, you know, and I appreciate Jack's opinion. Jack has a good opinion sometimes, you know. He's very straightforward.
Oh, so this is a whole thing going on. Is poor Jack being abused again? This is very upsetting. # free Jack. # down with Dottie.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that bird is living the best life with Dottie. If I could be any bird, I'd want to be Jack.
What's happily infinity? I'm not sure. I feel like that should be read away, but I'm not seeing how it should be read. But I absolutely love watching your Entitlement Translator vids. You're quite brilliant. Peace and light. Thank you so much, Happily. I'll just call you that for now. Well, here's the thing. I mean, in her article, I keep going back because I read this article. I was reading part of it, and I just, first of all, I
give you props if you read the entire article at that. Alone what you were reading was just I'm not sure if you've seen my reaction in the background video. Yeah, no.
How can I put this? she keeps it's hard to tell who it is she's blaming, because she keeps trying to say that the nurses are overworked and they're underpaid and they're burnt out, blah blah blah. But yet then she doesn't miss a point or miss an opportunity to blame this shit on her, on the way that the nurse spoke to her son, and how the nurse failed to manage his moods, his behavior properly, and everything. And now here's a question I have, because you mentioned just a minute ago how you deal with, all kinds of things when in your job, all kinds of behavioral things, whether these things stem from a physical thing or behavioral thing, whatever, you learn, you're trained how to deal with it. So how is it true that maybe these RNs are not trained in how to, I don't know, how to approach or manage a child with autism, maybe? I mean,
So that's a tricky question, just based off of my own experience, my own work experience and stuff like that. I would say no off the bat. I feel like if I would have went to school for two extra more years, I would have made the nurse. But I was told, like, we have so many nurses, they're underpaid here. We have health cuts all the time in Canada, so I didn't bother doing that at the time that I went to school for what I went to school for. Nurses do a lot. Some of them are really super fucking annoying. Like, I'll work with certain clients, and all nurses come in and do certain procedures on them, which is perfectly fine. Most of them are pretty nice. Some could be a little bit mean and like demanding, but that's whatever. Like, at this point, with everything going on, I'm just like, okay, I'll do it.
Okay,
Especially
so
how much pressure they're under, but they definitely, like in Canada, for my field of working with disabilities, we get 2 years. With nurses, they get 4 years, 5 years, depending. Some of them go into healthcare aid before they go into nursing, and healthcare aid is like 6 months to a year, depending on the program you go in.
Kimberly Rowdy Mom says they have to have some training. I mean, I would think maybe not necessarily in just a general sense of learning how to be a nurse. Maybe that wouldn't necessarily have training. But if they're going to work in settings like home health care, then I would think that this would be something that would possibly be dealt with, maybe even on a regular basis. So I would think maybe as far as like per agency regulations, there would have to be some training. But so I don't know shit.
How it works here, okay, so I'm a support worker. I do individualized support work, and I do direct support work. So I work in group homes as well as I do generally outside the pandemic. I would be doing recreational support work for individuals with disabilities.
Okay.
But unfortunately, since there's a pandemic, we're stuck at home. It's lucky I still have a job and I can do that support work from their house. But generally, I would be the person that would take them out during the day, and then when I would bring them home, that is when the residential support workers would do it, or continue the work, I guess you could say. But they're not, I mean, we are still the people that are going to be giving their medications, checking on their behaviorals, their moods, making sure they're okay, taking them out, making them being interactive with the community, being a part of the community. Whereas the nurses usually only come in at a certain time and point for our clients, where they're prescribing something that might be by needle or injection, just because that is not a part of my classification.
Okay.
So like in the mornings, some days I'll have a client, nurses may come in the morning time. I'll get a call in the morning and I'm like, okay, I'll make sure they're ready, whatever. But that I can't, and I don't do those certain procedures or checks or anything like that. But like people with disabilities, yeah, like we start for disability services, like day services, we start at like 8:30 in the morning, we go till the afternoon, and then we have our night shift take over. So there's always different people. Nurses do certain things. Nurses are always running around and doing different jobs at different households, different placements, different like senior households. Like that's their thing, you know. And they definitely deserve to be paid more than what they are in Canada and the United States. Any healthcare field at this point, especially during the pandemic, it's insane.
Yeah,
I
no,
mean, I got COVID from work.
You that's where you caught COVID from?
Yeah.
No shit.
One of our coworkers, which was a casual with my workplace at the time, was working 2 other jobs as casual, and she went and got tested for COVID and still kept going to work at all 3 of her jobs. She got so many of us sick.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a huge thing. Holy shit.
Yeah, that was in the beginning when it like had first started, because it was October in 2020 when I got it. And that's when like the first like second wave in our province like really hit.
Wow. I don't think we really had a second wave here, thankfully. I mean, they talked about it and everything, but I don't think anything really hit here for a second time.
I think there was. They just don't talk about it as much in the States as they do in Canada. Like, we're in our 3rd wave in Manitoba, and like, I don't know. I'm getting fed up at this point. It's like we're 15 months in. I'm going crazy.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, I've only seen my dad. I need to end work.
She hasn't responded yet. Yeah, people are talking here in the chat, and not to change the subject, but I'm going to change the subject here briefly. Lori Lynn is mentioning this interview that Todd gave, and there's one interview that I am aware of, and I pulled it up, and I shared it here in the chat to see if this is the one that she's talking about. I don't see how it can't be, because I don't know of any other ones, and nothing else is coming up on YouTube anyways. But I pulled it up, and I pulled up the what's the word I'm looking for? The transcript for the interview, and I did a word search for the word son, and there was like, I don't know, like 50 something matches, whatever, because it picked up everywhere. There's those 3 letters were put together, not just for the word son, but like personal, you know, whatever. And they all came up, but I didn't see anything though of him saying that what she was saying about him saying anything that would insinuate that this was not his only child. I don't know. So I don't know what else to say on that as far as that goes.
I feel like that's bullshit, and I would actually move on from it. But
yeah, I don't see how this would have slipped everyone's. I mean, just everyone's searching into these people. You know what I mean?
She doesn't even like having 1 kid. Come on, imagine having 2.
I guess what people are saying is that they think he was married before and that he has kids with somebody else. That's what.
Whatever. If he has kids with someone else, let's not dive into that. Poor kids, let them be hidden.
But if anyone wants to check out this interview themselves, I'm putting the link again here in the description. It's right there. So I didn't put any info with it like an idiot. My bad. But if anyone else wants to check it out, feel free. You know. So if you hear something that I missed, then please let me know.
Like an idiot.
So there. Okay, your turn. You can say I have the
I
transcript.
love
I
how
can say-
you said like an idiot though.
Oh, you're a junk uncle. I have this transcript too. YouTube provides the transcript. So thank you though. Thank you.
YouTube prescribes. Wait, what?
Yeah. Oh, you didn't see my how to find transcripts for videos video?
Is that the one that you can use for like captions on your video?
No, I don't think so.
Okay,
Here,
then I'm stupid like that.
here. I can do this real quick. Let's see. I'll share it with
You
his video.
know I'm usually asleep during half of your streams. I really try to pride myself on being there. That's why like tonight
Okay.
I was like, oh my god, I'm awake.
Okay, so real quick, if you look at the screen here, okay, this is just it's the interview that I was just talking about. So
Okay.
this works for live stream or videos. It doesn't matter, okay? But if you go right here next to save, you see these three dots. You click on them. If you click on them, you should see report and open transcript. Now, if you just see report, it's probably because the video is still kind of new, and sometimes the transcripts can take up to a week to appear. So just keep that in mind. But if you click open, if you click open transcript and say it's for a live stream, okay, the transcript will always open up here up on top of the live chat, okay? And here it is. This is okay. This is transcript for the whole video, okay? It appears right away. And now, like I was mentioning for the word search, you can already see this up here, but I'm going to take it down and show you again. So
that's my problem.
for Apple, you hit Command F. For Windows or Linux, you hit Control F, okay? But so I'm on iMac, so it's Command F. When I hit it, either the box is going to show up here on the top right, it's going to show up down here on the bottom left. It depends on what you're using. I think it depends on the browser, because Firefox, it comes up on the bottom left.
I use Firefox, so.
Yeah, Chrome, it comes up on the top right, apparently. So when this comes up, you just type in whatever word it is you want to have it search on the page for. So here, I did sun earlier. Okay. So right here, it shows you how many there are. There's 54 matches for it. And then you just hit the arrows down to find every example of it, so you can see what exactly is being said or whatever, you know. So yeah, the only thing that sucks about this, though, I'm doing it on for searching the transcript on the YouTube page, is it will search the entire page. So if there's comments or whatever with the word sun, see like here, it's going to pick that up too. That's the only thing that kind of sucks. But this word search, the Command F, Control F, you can use that anywhere. You can use that on anywhere in the internet, wherever there's anywhere there's text. You can use it on any PDF files that are on your computer, on anywhere, anything, and you can just keyword search. That's all. So I did a video about this though, so but there, quick refresher.
I was making funny little videos while you're doing it. Okay.
Nikki, no need to see your adult browser history for canning dicks. I know.
Canning dicks.
If for those who don't know, this is a nickname I gave Todd's band, Canisteris. I call him Canning Dicks.
You're gonna get sued.
Well, it's, I don't know, kind of. I feel like it fits. Daddy sent me an important video.
Oh no. You know, if it's from Dottie, it's not that important. It's just dirty. So I guess maybe that makes it important. I don't know.
I would play this for everyone, but I don't know how to save it. How can I save it?
Well, if you're on StreamYards, you should be able to share it that way.
Right. No, I can, but it's in my DMs. So in order for me to, I don't know how to save the video. So I think
you don't even have to save the video. Make her, make the video full screen, and then you click on share.
Yeah, but when I make it full screen, I can't pull up the other tabs to share.
That's why you hit the fucking button at the bottom of your keyboard.
What button at the bottom of my keyboard? What are you talking about?
The one that has the 4 squares on it. It brings up your start bar.
The 4 squares. Okay, I'm not. Oh, you mean on Windows?
Like I'm Windows.
Not. Yeah, I'm not on Windows. That might be, I don't know, would that be control?
Could be.
Oh,
I don't know. What are
options?
you on, Mac?
Command? Yeah, I'm on Mac, and nothing on the bottom here is working for that. I don't know. What's that do? I'm just hitting everything. What's this do? It's this do. It's this. Come on. All right, yeah, nothing's working. I don't know. It's all right.
I'm not going to tell you because I have no idea about Mac, and this is why I tell people get Windows.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I can't. It won't even give me the option to. Oh, wait. Share. Okay, no, that's not helping me. Never mind. Okay, I'm done trying. I will check the video out though more later after the stream.
If you wanted to share it, you would have. Are you on Mac, right?
Yes, I am.
So, like, I use usually Google Chrome if I'm using like the StreamYards on here. But usually I use OBS if I'm gonna like just stream to my YouTube or Twitch. But Mac is not as easy as people think it is.
I mean, it is, but it isn't. If you're used to Windows, then no, it's not.
Yeah, but you can't even play half the video games on there that you can on like Windows. Come on,
no,
guys.
yeah, you're right about that.
Come on. I'm a gamer, so I'm like.
There's this one game I play on my iPad, and I figured out how I'm not sure if you can play it on iMac now that I can't remember. Windows, I think you can, but you can't. There's not a way to play it on Linux yet. I know, but it's called Guns of Glory.
I've heard of that game before, actually.
It's pretty cool. It is. I've been playing it for a while too. I think my castle is now like at 33 or 34 or something. Which I mean, it's not crazy high like a 40, but I mean, it doesn't suck. So, but yeah, there's something you can't play it on something. Maybe it's Mac. I know Linux is definitely one of them though.
Well, you can definitely play The Sims on Mac.
Cool.
Yeah, no one cares. I know. I'm like Sim obsessed, and everyone else is like, "What Sims?" I'm like,
did I really come off like that? I mean,
that's just how everyone is. Everyone is like that. I'm the only 33-year-old that I know that is like, Sims, and everyone's like, "What the fuck is that?" I'm not into the Sims. No one's cool like me. It's all right.
But I didn't. I'm like, oh no, did I really sound like that? Oh no.
No. I'm just, I'm so cool that people can't advance to my level.
There you go. Yep, exactly.
Let's just go with that, and we'll figure out the rest from there.
Hey, I'm not gonna hear any complaints out of me.
You want to share a video because like you're still sharing the.
Yeah, I know. I want to go back to that. She's supposed to send me something in
Dottie,
an
send
email.
The video.
I will go back to that.
Video.
Okay. So all right, I'm gonna go back. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the video here because I want to play some more of it. Nikki May. Okay, we get it, EKC. Your castle's 1134. We know you want us to call you Your Highness. Oh shoot, my name though on the game is Executiontress. I tried to put like a female spin on executioner because it's it's set in like the it's Guns of Glory, whatever. It's set in like the castle, like the dark days. What is the word I'm looking for? I can't even think of it now. Shit. I don't know.
It's something.
Yeah. So the time frame in which I'm thinking of, and why am I drawing a blank to this? It's times like these I feel like an idiot, but I know it's right now. The dark times or something. I don't know. But yeah, so it's that in the time with like castles and princes and princesses or medieval. Thank you. Yes, medieval. That's what I was looking for. Yes, medieval times. So this is when it's set or whatever. So I'm trying to think, okay, executioner was like a big thing, and it's, it's a badass kind of thing from back then. So I kind of put a female spin on it, executiontress. That's my name. So yeah. So yeah, no, you can call me that. Okay. I'm kidding.
Executionist. Oh, God damn it.
I'll spell it.
Really bad with certain letters when I'm trying to say them.
There. Executiontress.
Executionist.
Yeah, I don't know. It's what I came up with, and it can't. Well, no, actually, I had some time to think of it. That was what I came up with. So
You're like,
yeah.
oh, okay, I can't say I made this up in 5 minutes.
So everyone just calls me Tress. Like, okay, fine, whatever. Okay, wait. Queen EKC Daddy has enough material tonight for another memes video. Well, I didn't do a mute, did I? Have I been on mute yet? So at least there's that.
No, yourself yet.
If the axe fits.
You've done well. By the way, your hair looks wonderful tonight.
Thank you. I actually washed it today.
Story of my life, when someone tells me my hair looks good, I'm like, oh, thank you, I washed it.
I know that, but no, like I think the past 2 streams or whatever, like I washed my hair, but not that day, So
it looks good though, so good job.
Yeah, today I washed it, so yeah.
Yours, I guess I washed mine today too, so that's why it looks fluffy.
It is. Wait, yep, it is in the writing. It says my first son. Wait, it really is in the transcripts for the video? Let me try searching my first son instead of just son. I don't know. My first son. Oh wait, it won't search all of that, I don't think. Let me try first. All right, so. All right,
my hair does smell really good though. I will give it that.
It smells really good.
Yeah, I use a different product on it today with an oil in like the developer. I don't know. I'm not a hairdresser, okay? I just buy developer and the blue stuff.
Okay. First incarnation. Let's see. The first time I heard it, first 2 albums. First 2 were more. Okay.
Lock her up. Who are you locking up, Nikki May? That's my question. Wait, why would CK be calling? We don't like that person here.
What's that?
CK, Critical K.
What? Okay.
You know who Critical K is?
Oh yeah, no, I know who she is. Yeah.
Can't say ma.
I don't know. I didn't see anything through this transcript.
Wow, you went through all of that?
Yeah, well, there's only 32 examples. But I did the word first.
That's pretty boss. I mean, almost, man.
She needs to be criticized. Okay.
I mean, yeah. She's really brutal when she comes at people, though. So, like, yeah. So this one, you went through the transcript. There's nothing important.
So, yeah, your drunk uncle.
Not my drunk uncle.
No, I know that's the name of this. But he says earlier though, he said that he had the transcripts. So I showed in everything where I found the transcripts and stuff. So do you have the transcripts for this same video? I'm curious. And whereabouts in the transcripts is this said? Like, can you copy and paste it or something maybe? Or even just, you can send me an email if you want, or DM me on Twitter, whatever. Here, I'll put my email and shit in here.
But whoever Erin is talking to, listen to her. Back up the stream if you need to listen again.
There's email, and Twitter is.
And then send that info. And Nikki, Belinda said Her Highness Erin will be calling us peasants soon. Well, I'm pretty sure I'm probably a peasant. Like in real reality, I'm probably a peasant.
So I said we would overthrow her to the dungeon if she tries. Fair enough. Fair enough, Nikki. Fair enough. Fair enough.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
I hear you. Oh God. All right. I'm gonna go back to this video though, because I want to see. I don't know. I feel like that there's going to be discrepancies.
So, like, what are we really expecting?
No, Katie's video. I'm talking about. I don't have the transcripts for that one.
Because I read this one.
No, not this one. I'm gonna pull this one up. Because her video, I can't pull up the transcripts for that because it's not on.
You know who Katie's husband reminds me of?
Who?
Barry Morphew. Killed his wife, Suzanne Morphew, Colorado. Just got arrested last week.
Huh. Interesting. I have
no
idea who this is. Okay.
Guys, look him up. It's a good case to be following right now. It's fucking insane.
Why do I keep getting all this crap from fucking just shit in my email? Okay, all right, I'm done. I'm sorry, I'm bitching. I'm just going through my email now. All right, I'm gonna go back to playing this video. Or we just let her keep herself and mute at times. Yeah, that would work. I mean, seriously, that would work. Okay.
Filed against their families by disgruntled staff, and it's horrible. Yesterday, I made a comment on my personal Facebook page, and I was sort of I don't really post a lot on my personal Facebook. I have in the last couple of days just because I've been emotional, but I'm really not. I don't dump things out into the world, and I'm really only talking about this because this relates to what I write about. But I made a comment about home care nursing and the issues that we're having with home care staff, and people were like trying to tell me that it's not fair for me to bash a whole agency, and I wasn't bashing a whole agency. And they said, well, it's not fair to bash all home care workers, and I wasn't bashing all home care workers. But there's a virus that's in the home care industry, and it's very toxic. And there are a lot of very toxic workers that are underpaid, working too many hours, and they know that they can go anywhere they want, so they can treat families however they want. And they know that agencies will do nothing to stop it. In my particular agency, the management was so bad that anytime I made a complaint, the director wasn't even hearing about them. When I spoke to the director tonight, some of the complaints I gave her, which I had given to clinical managers, she had never heard. So it's pretty scary. And when you have a child that's disabled and you need staff in your home and you're fighting for everything, the last thing you want to have to fight for is not to have staff in your home abusing them. That's the last thing you want to fight for. I will fight all day for education and for medicine and that kind of stuff, but I shouldn't have to fight for my staff not to be abusive. That's insane. I shouldn't have to be afraid to not be myself in my home because it'll upset staff. They do. Yes, Nicole, you're right. They all cover for each other. So we had a nurse that was using her phone during the day and being on the phone. And for normal, I don't mind personal phone calls, but my son has auditory sensitivity. And so it's really hard for him to process when there's too much noise going on around him. And so if he's with someone and they are on the phone, he gets really agitated because he has it's just there's too much noise. And she would be on her phone all the time and he would be screaming and yelling and she would just stay on the phone. And I reported it to the clinical manager, and then the clinical manager called her and she told the clinical manager that she was on the phone with the agency and they believed her. And so they acted like I was lying. P.S. She was on the phone with her mom. She was on her phone with her brother. She was on the phone with her aunt. There was a day she was talking to her doctor's office. One time she was talking to an uncle. She talked to her mom all the time. And, when you're going to a house, don't use your phone. It's stupid. And don't lie. And they believed her and they didn't believe me. Why would I lie that she's on the phone? I have no stake in I have no dog in that fight. I have no reason to say that she's on her phone. She'd also like be on her Facebook while my son was like in the other room, and she would like ignore him, and she would just like watch her phone the whole time. You know, like it's, some of them are entitled and they're just lazy, Nicole, I tell you. And hi, I don't know if Andrea's still here, but I love Andrea. She's like one of my favorite people. She's probably gone. So I
See, I don't remember.
Ignore your child. You're on fucking
Yeah.
Facebook. You're on fucking YouTube live stream. You're on Instagram live stream. You're doing everything that you're complaining about someone else doing while they're with your kid while you're doing it while you.
Yeah, and I don't recall her saying anything about this in her article about the nurse being so horrible and inept because the nurse was on, you know, social media, was on her phone or whatever all the time, or that was never mentioned. But here, all of a sudden, it's you know, documented or whatever.
And let me say this. Let's say your kid is being occupied by playing or drawing or doing something. Maybe your nurse takes her phone out of her fucking pocket and checks something. How much you want to bet my ass, bet my titties that she fucking was calling like 3 minutes of someone checking their Facebook saying that all they do is sit on their Facebook.
Well, yeah, and I mean,
all she does, this is straight up gaslighting, manipulation. All she does is sit on YouTube and stream and Instagram and stream.
and also too, I mean, she says in her article here that how the nurse was complaining because the nurse didn't want to be stuck sitting in the same room all day or whatever with the kid. You know, the nurse didn't want to. I want to use the exact words. Okay, here it is. She didn't want to be in his room or the guest room. Damn it, no, that wasn't it. That wasn't it. Okay, my son she didn't want to be in a room he wanted to play in. The two of them fought for hours as she screamed and told him she can't be forced to sit in her small room all day. So you mean to tell me that this woman, this nurse, or I'm saying woman, it could be either, but this nurse is being made to sit in her small room all day with a small child and play, you know, just give him her attention. And you're going to give her shit because once in a while she looks for an escape and looks at her phone? I mean, come on.
Let me say this as well. Usually, as far as I'm aware, nurses and support workers, disability support workers, individualized support workers, day service support workers, whatever you want to call us, workers that are supporting individuals that have disabilities one way or another. We don't get breaks. That's why I get paid for fucking 8 hours a day while working 7, because I don't get a lunch. My lunch and everything else is combined with the clients that I work with. Okay? So, yeah. Sometimes I do check my phone and I'll do shit on my phone during, like, if I'm going outside for 5 minutes, 2 minutes, whatever. If I'm going for a shit, I'm going to check my shit, you know, not actually my shit, my phone. But, you know, like, we work straight hours, you know, even working 12, 14 hours that I have done in my field of work, like doing support work. I don't get breaks. My breaks are when I go to the washroom, or if I can pop outside for 10 minutes or something like that, you know?
Right, yeah. Exactly. It's not like you have someone coming in there to relieve you for a half an hour so you can go off and you can go and get something. You can just, you know, decompress in your car for 20 minutes. Or so. You can smoke a couple cigarettes or whatever the case may be. Yeah.
I can't even leave for a pack of cigarettes. If I ran out of cigarettes and I needed a pack, I would not be able to leave work for that. Unless I was working with like coworkers that, you know, they'll cover your ass, I guess. But
what the, oh my God. So okay, wait a minute, let me pull that back up again. Okay, so I'm sorry, but the whole CK talk here, it just, I'm more shits. I'm now going back and I'm reading it.
Dude, shut up. Sorry.
Where is it? Okay. Shit, damn it, where'd the first one go?
She's trying to start
Okay.
beef with me.
Teresa Hudson says Critical K has 137 copyright strikes right now. She won't be coming back to her YouTube channel anytime soon. And then she says, yeah, the strikes came all at once. All her mods are turning on her. If you go to her channel, she has taken a ton of vids down. She started calling out the wrong big YouTubers. I knew that something was going on. I knew she was getting strikes. And I learned some of this on Twitter actually. And I seen on her channel, like there's all but like 4 or 5 videos left on her entire channel. But I didn't know that she got that many strikes or that it was her mods behind it. Oh my God.
That's a lot.
Yeah. And I mean, they're probably, most of them are probably bullshit. I mean, if she fights them, they're probably just, be ruled in her favor, I would imagine.
Today I reported a bunch of Eugenia Cooney's photos on Instagram, like 8 of them, and it came back and it was like, this does not say, or they have an eating disorder one now. And they're like, this doesn't go against our eating disorder claims. Yet she's like, she's putting out information that you should be understand.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, if she's, that's different. I mean, if there's just pictures of her up, that's one thing, but
like, no, she's posting photos where she is definitely body checking. Especially because I've been in eating disorder stuff and recovery. It's super sad.
No shit, John. John said, I checked Social Blade, over 1 million negative views from her deleted videos. Because when I first heard about this and I seen the videos were gone from her channel, I checked Social Blade, but there weren't any negative views yet. So I just assumed that she unlisted the videos as opposed to like privatize them or taking them down.
But they must have got deleted.
Yeah, if they're negative views now, they're either privatized or deleted. She took them. Yeah, she took them down. Yeah, they won't be unlisted or.
How does it work when like big people like Jeffree Star remove videos and stuff like that? Does it come up as minus or?
Yeah, it will. If it depends on how it's taken down. Like if it's just unlisted, then the views still count because people can still access the video. Like if they have a link, they can access it directly.
So it's like
and the link
privated.
Well, no, unlisted isn't privated. Like, if it's unlisted, anyone can access it with the link, and the link can be shared among people or whatever, so more and more people can access it. So it's still possible to be viewed. It's just not publicly listed. So the views still count in your favor. However, if you privatize it, then I think you have to approve each person who can view it. I'm not positive on that. I never privatized the video, but I know that a link alone won't be able to view it. So if it's privatized, then the views get taken away from your channel. Or if you remove the video, then naturally the views get taken away.
Interesting. I never knew that. That's good to know. Also, Just Brit, I did nothing. Sue and them are just like creating this really fun beef with me where they want to like, I don't know, hype up the crew. Let's just say that.
So just Brit just came in and where is it? Hey, sorry I'm late or whatever. Nikki
no
goes,
real beef. It's all fake beef. Yeah. Don't worry.
Nikki goes, welcome, Just Brit. We have trillion mods. Sue's got the meat fights with Benny. Aaron is now your highness. I think I mentioned all the highlights so far.
I think me and Britt though tonight confirmed that she's my main pimp, so no one can take that. Me and Britt, keep that to us. Let's not talk about it.
Well, technically, I don't think I can really wear the crown yet. Just when my castle, I think, reaches 35, then I think I should be given the crown. But it's still a little time yet. I think
I'm going to be 34 next year. I'm a little nervous. I hope I can spend it with some friends next year, though.
Yeah,
even cool. One friend I'll be happy with. I mean, I got to spend this year with a bunch of you guys, like on a stream, but like, oh no, I want to go bowling with some of my friends. I just want to go bowling and play
go bowling?
arcade games, okay? I miss going to arcades. Like, everything's so shut down here, so.
I want to go to karaoke again. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, karaoke's been like so long. I bet we could create something, Erin.
What, on here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I bet I could figure something out. I have a feeling. I know a few sites.
The only thing is, I don't think it could be a public video or whatever, because
it would have to be private because of like copyright. Yeah,
right. Yeah,
but it would still be fun. We could do it like on Discord or something.
Yeah, or even like Discord through. I don't really know how to work Discord though. I'll be honest
That or
with
we
you, but
could
I know
do
it can be
on
done.
Twitch as well. I know is
that. Yeah, I have a Twitch account too.
I do too. I created it for video games, but
microphone condoms for karaoke now? Are you're kidding, Daddy? Come on, you got to be kidding. You
Mail
got
them
to be
to
kidding.
me. If you want me to use those, you got to mail them to me.
No, nobody get me a kazoo. Or unless you mean the other Aaron, unless you mean the other Aaron in chat.
You a kazoo.
If you mean Aaron in chat, then if she wants a kazoo, then fine, whatever. That's up to her. But if you mean me, no.
I'll take a harmonica if anyone wants to send me. I love playing the harmonica.
Well, I think that might have been a Critical K kind of reference because of how Critical K has her kazoo.
Okay. Well, I love
calling all peasants. Calling all peasants. Oh, and someone said earlier I was going to start referring to people as peasants. Oh, now I get it. Okay.
Sue, if you want to buy me new headphones, should I send you my Amazon wish list? I'm too poor to buy new ones. Both of my good headsets died. My Beats I can fix, but I need to buy a small solder gun point, a small one, like a pen point, and then they'll be fixed. And we all know I ran over my razors, so those aren't coming back. I ran over them with my new vacuum. I mean, what a waste of $100.
Yeah, I'd be pissed off if it broke the vacuum.
I just Daddy, sucked up the cord and I was like, oh no.
Daddy Morgan says, I'm not. They use them here in the bars. They use actual microphone condoms for karaoke. Oh my God. Okay, whatever. Honestly, if it helps bring karaoke back a little faster, fine. I'll sing safely, I guess, whatever. But
girls
seen it.
Just wanna have fun.
And Sina Marie, you need the peasant call, EKC. Okay. Are you guys trying to say that I'm like CK? You're not saying that, right? I mean, you're not trying to say I'm like Critical K? Please?
I'm just being weird Kendra dancing in the background. And also,
even
Canada
my
doesn't have...
co-host here got all quiet there with that. What the hell?
And I want to say, Canada doesn't have Venmo, people. We only take PayPal.
Canada doesn't have Venmo?
No, we don't have, because in Canada, like, for us to transfer money, like, between me and my best friends, we just transfer through our bank accounts. We have, it's called e-transfers. So you can e-transfer for free between other accounts through Canada. I don't know how you would say that.
Okay.
Yeah,
I prefer Venmo because you can actually, it's all public. You can see like who a channel gave money to or got money from or whatever. If you're looking into someone, I like it, whatever.
Well, I only have PayPal. I'm sorry, I'm Canadian. Don't blame me. It's not my fault.
John says, putting condoms on microphones for karaoke is just asking for some drunk singer to deep throat the mic and stage for a laugh. It is. It really is, though. It is. Someone will do that. I guess it could be a guy or a girl, but chances are it'll probably be a chick.
I'm not going to start a GoFundMe for fucking headphones.
Huh?
too is like, start a GoFundMe for headphones. And I'm like, no, I'll find another way to get them. Maybe through OnlyFans. Something's coming later this month.
Yeah, Nikki, I'm up. I'd be game for a karaoke live stream. I mean, hell, I've been getting up in front of bars and singing like shit for years. What the hell's you do really any different?
Doing it on YouTube, you know? Yeah.
And any one of them could have filmed it for all I fucking know.
I'm down to actually do that more on stream than I would in person, because at least I don't have those like douches in front of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
It makes me more like I have my ring light. I'm gonna be out there. I got my area.
And I imagine too, there has to be apps too that kind of improve how you sound. I would think. I don't know, but it's something to look into. I don't know. The only thing though is I wonder, like, you stream it would have to be a private stream though, like you said, or whatever. I don't know.
You can always like
look into.
I mean, I used to use Discord a lot, but you can also do like private stuff on Discord with that as well. So like you can invite people to come and join your Discord, and there can be a certain room that you're going to use for like your karaoke stream night. And it can be invite only. So we can always confirm like people beforehand as well.
Yeah, exactly.
There's always a way. I mean, condom karaoke fundraiser.
only fans condom karaoke fundraiser.
Oh my god, do you guys think I would make like that sad amount that you would need to make a GoFundMe for my OnlyFans? Not if I do girl on girl and eat pussy.
Huh? What? What did I miss? What the fuck did I miss there? Am I frozen?
No.
What? Where'd it go? Where'd it go now? Shit.
Well, I'm doing stuff behind the scenes, Aaron. That's all I'll say.
Oh, Crystal says, yeah, I almost said, who the fuck is that on panel frozen? But it was before I removed Katie. So I guess it looked like we had a third person on panel here, and she was frozen, and it was Katie.
That would be awful. Imagine having Katie stuck on her stream, just frozen there. Thanks, Cristola. It's a little lighter than I expected it to be, but it's all right.
I like the color. I do. And also, too, after a shampoo or two, like, it'll kind of, I don't want to say fade, but it won't be quite
it will fade out. Yeah.
In your face, that's when I always liked it, when I did the very vibrant colors.
Well, especially because, like, I re-bleached all of the hair, especially the roots. Like, I re-bleached because, like, my roots were, like, 4 inches in. They were like really deep, and I'm doing a photo shoot on Friday, so it's like, well, I might as well like re-bleach my hair for the first time in 1.5 years and just redo it purple. So yeah, I did it myself, Sunny. I just re-bleached it and did it electric blue. Yeah, that's how it looks like on, I guess you would say, the ring light. It looks like electric blue. Looks a little bit darker with photos, but I am doing OnlyFans photo shoot this Friday. I am. Cool. I'm excited though. I'm doing it with some like really good girlfriends I've known for like over 10 years that are doing it as well. So we're just doing like cosplay and dress up and stuff like that and playing with makeup, and I think it'll be fun. So
yeah, it definitely sounds like it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Fuck, I've been so bored since the pandemic. Like,
Yeah, I
this will
know. I
be
hear
the
you.
first time, this will be my first time seeing friends since January 2020.
Wow. Holy shit.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
it's a long time. And it's the same friends that I seen on my last time before the pandemic started. So it's kind of cute in that sense. I was like, how cute is that? That you're seeing me before and after.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just a little weirdo.
Nikki, I agree. I absolutely agree. We definitely have to get this set up. Sometime soon too. Like hopefully like over the next couple of weeks, maybe. Nikki said, I say we make a date of it and also get Will to sing. Yes. Yes, he has to come and sing too.
Just big pimping. Everyone thinks she is my pimp. She's my number one pimp, and then like Megan's my second pimp, and then Dreadlocks is like my third pimp, and then my friend Stacy is like my fourth pimp. At this point, I'm going to make no money.
I was gonna say, yeah, if they all get a cut, I mean, what the hell? It's not gonna be you with shit.
Where's my cut? But yes, they're all very supportive though. So thank you to everyone that's been really supportive. I appreciate it. I'm trying to pay off my debt and save up money for college.
Awesome. On that note, though, I think I'm going to end this because I just looked at the time. I'm going on 100 minutes, and it's 1:07 a.m. And I did take a couple of painkillers earlier, and now I'm getting from them.
Sleepy.
Yeah, but they work though. My arm has like not been bothering me at all since I've been on stream, so that's cool. I mean, they did their job.
Your hair has stayed fabulous the entire stream as well. So
thank you. Yeah, I got a fan on it though too, but it's not blowing it all over, so it's cool.
No, but it looks good. It looks in place. Mine's just fluffy and all over, so I appreciate the body of your hair.
Cool. Thank you. And your hair looks awesome. Like, did you get a cut too? Because it looks like you got a cut too.
No, it's just because I washed it.
It's just because I watched it. Dude, I'm telling you, washing it does everything.
Washing it makes it like lower itself because it gets more straight. And as long as I leave it, I have naturally wavy and curly hair, so it gets shorter as the longer I leave it. It's weird, but it works out that way. But your hair looks beautiful. No, thank you. It might look a little bit darker next time. We all know I look different every freaking time.
Well, why not? Why the hell not?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just hair. It's just hair. It always grows back. You can always dye it back, whatever. It's just hair,
We can, if not, wear wigs.
There you go. Yep, exactly. And Twitter, some more info. Okay, yeah, sounds good, Teresa. Do that. Yeah, I'm kind of curious exactly what went down with all that. I'm really curious, actually, especially with like the mods and everything, their comment that I read earlier. So awesome. Thank you, Teresa. But I'm going to let you all go. And I plan on doing, it'll be Wednesday night. I don't know if I'm going to do another stream tonight. If I do, it's going to be earlier, though. It's not going to be a 10 or 11 o'clock stream. It's going to be like a lot
earlier.
Yeah.
What the fuck does that mean? It's like 12 a.m. right now.
I have a big day I have a big day Thursday, so I'm going to want to go to bed early Wednesday night. That's all. So, so if I do a stream tomorrow, it'll be like late evening. Like I'm guessing like 7, 8 o'clock maybe, around there. So, but I am not positive on this yet, so don't hold me to it. But anyways, I am finishing up a video though, so hopefully that'll be out sometime tomorrow. But alrighty. So, thank you everyone. Thanks for coming on again, Tiny.
Thank you for having me. I love you, Erin.
I love you too. Good night, everyone.
Bye.